everybody, this is Pikachu here. I'm actually doing something quite different today. Hopefully you guys take the opportunity to sit down and listen to this. I'll have the words on the screen as well as while I'm reading this. But I am taking the liberty out of just sitting down today and reading a story to you that I've written. These are all my words. I have not taken it from anywhere. The idea did come from a book called Fahrenheit 451, the concept of extremities in the future. I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to leave it for you guys to go in the comments and let me know what you think. So, here we go. It's called A World Without You by myself, Pikachu, or my real name, Suzanne. It's cold, Mama. Warm up in this. I made it just for you. Mama, where did you go? I'm right here, sweetie. Mama, I'm scared. Don't be. You aren't alone. A nudge of someone's cold fingers stabs my reoccurring dream and drags me back to the damp, crowded cell that is now our home. I yawn and rub my weary eyes to reveal a young girl frantically staring at me. The blue rings around her marble-round pupils float upon the reddened sclera. Beneath her eyes are giant bruised bags from lack of sleep. Her lips are dry like clay, chapped and red from small amounts of blood oozing from the cracks. Her fragile fingers press upon my shoulder. She does not stop nudging me until I rise. I can hear him! He's coming! She cries, her voice cracking. She coughs and rises to her feet, never letting me leave her sight. I sit up and force my weak body to stand. I do not let her painfully thin arms aid me to reach her height. I bite my lip as I kneel on one knee. My calloused hands claw the wet cement. A small tear falls on my right hand. I'm scared. I push myself from the ground. Finally on my own 2 feet, I look around. Raggedy children around our age, 12 or 13, cower within the shadows of the room, keeping constant eye contact with the one-way iron door. It is the only escape of the cell, besides the barred windows, straight across from it. The sun barely peers through, but our eyes are adjusted. The little girl squeezes my arms and stares into my dreary eyes. I place my other hand upon her lips and tell her to stay quiet. We scurry to the window and crouch right underneath. Our breathing is almost as loud as our pulsating heartbeats, drumming out all other noises until the bell tolls. All conversations cease. Crows laugh at us from the sanctity of the barren trees outside. It is time. For what? We do not know, but only fear. For all who are taken from this room are never heard of again. It is a mystery who they pick each time. Some say it is by name, others by age. I say it's just random. The first child to be called is it, and to them I say farewell. The young girl beside me squeezes my shoulder. Her eyes are wide and alert like an owl. Her chapped lips quiver. She loses her grip and topples onto her butt. I help her back up. We learn not to sit on the floor with all the water and horrid-smelling liquids drenching the floor. It is less disgusting by the window, for no one wishes to be seen doing something so embarrassing. But then again, this is all we can do. We hide in the shadows and fear the light. From the light comes the man in white. I hold her close, trying to keep her warm. Like an older brother, it feels as if my sole purpose here is to protect this child I call my sister. It has been 6 months, maybe, since I last saw my family. Many children in here are the same. One kid has been here for almost a year. He's the wisest of us all, but never speaks a word. It seems he only listens, waiting for something. I think that's how he has survived the terror so long. The iron door crashes into the wall. The hinge cries in agony as the door is forced open by a tall man, dressed in white. "Good morning, Lucky," we each call out. It is our ritual to do so, not to be obedient or nice, but as tradition to mock this ironic man's name. Lucky's eyes pierce the crowd, searching. He grins and replies, "Good morning, Jennifer." One by one, children inch away from the poor brunette girl in dirty blue pajamas. She is sobbing now on her knees, cocooning her head in her lap. I see her turn her head to me, her eyes pleading for a savior. I turn away, ashamed for what I am. I am a coward. Horrible, horrible being, too afraid for my own life to save hers. Lucky stomps over to her slowly. Jennifer is shaking in fear. He grabs her by the messy pigtails and drags her like a dead deer out the door. She screams bloody murder. "Help me! Help! I don't want to go. I'll be good. Mama, don't let them hurt me, Mama. Daddy, save me." The iron door slams shut and locks. Silence topples us. I can barely breathe. The girl beside me grabs my hand and squeezes. She collapses upon the ground, staring at the door. I study her face filled with pain and terror. "They took her. My sissy." Her voice is strained. She coughs and softly cries. "How is it her time to go?" I grab her and pull her close. I cradle her for what seems like hours. Nothing else is said or done. We fall asleep like this, her head resting upon my chest as I lie back against the wall. Howling wolves outside lull us to sleep. "Mother, it's terrible here." "Be strong, my dear. Just a little longer." "Mother, why must I be here?" "To have a better life." "How is this better?" "You will see." I want to go home. In time. The crows caw as the sun rises. The orange rays seep inside and warm most of us up. I stretch slightly as to not wake my peaceful guest. I look around the room and see many curling up beneath the light of God. They cuddle together in patches across the area, whimpering and gagging. I cautiously remove her from my body and place her onto the warming ground, just as I used to with my baby sister. I rise up to stare out the window that gives us fresh air. Clouds scatter through the blue stream, stained with orange and red streaks from the rising sun. The crows peck at the grass below the barred window. Small saplings begin to sprout as spring starts to blossom this time of year. The aroma is what hints of springtime. Mother would open every window and allow the breeze to race inside and fill our home with life. Time is continuous out there, where everything prospers. Here, it freezes just like our bare feet. It tortures us, destroying our sanity as we age. I have become aware that life is too short, but here it is not short enough. Many disappear after a few weeks. One girl was brought in while her younger brother was never even seen entering the room. All of us ask the same question, but never receive an answer. Why are we being punished? "Stephen?" As a gentle voice carries through the air and tickles my ears, I am relaxed and strangely calm at the sound of my name. My young friend is now awake, glancing up at me. Is it nice out today? I nod my head and look back to the sky. My train of thought has derailed, and now all I can think about is her and her safety. I miss watching the sunrise with my mom, Stephen. I barely notice that she is looking out the window with me. She huddles close and rests her head on my shoulder. It's very pretty. The sky reminds me of a painting. She has been in here for only a few weeks with her twin. They had been huddled close together after being thrown in. They had no clue of what had happened. They were in their pajamas, sitting on a wet floor, shivering. Never before had I wanted to help any children in here. But for some reason, the look in her eyes forced my heart to overcome its instincts. Maybe it was because she reminded me of my dearest sister Emily, who I lost the day I was brought here. Emily got to stay with Mother, but I did not. Her sister hadn't been fond of me, never trusted me for a second, but then again, how could you trust when fear and betrayal consume your soul? She stayed away, like a cautious, limping wolf, but kept a hawk's eye on her sister. Can you tell me a story, Stephen? Of old times? She looks me in the eyes, knowing I can never tell her no. I take a few moments to let the beauty seep into my skin before I begin. The sky was blue as a sapphire. The grass was as green as a turtle. My parents had brought my sister and I out to the meadow for a picnic, our last one together. My parents had been smiling greatly. I ran around with our golden retriever, Sammy. She toppled me a few times before Mom called for lunch. We had PB&Js. They were so gooey and sticky. Sammy stole a bite and her mouth barely opened. I laughed so badly I started snorting. It was a nice day. That night Mom had tucked me in bed. She kissed me goodnight with a small tear in her eye. Mommy, why are you crying? I asked. Because you are going on an adventure. You'll be going to a better place, sweetie. She smiled at me, and I smiled back with a bigger grin. I made her laugh through the pain she must have been feeling. I'll tell you all about it when I'm back, Mama, I told her. I'll be waiting, honey. The bell tolls and everyone jumps out of their sleep. The young girl and I crouch down like clockwork and watch the door. Again it crashes against the wall and Lucky hustles in. We all tell him good morning, and this time he takes a boy. Same first name, different last name. Gave me a heart attack almost. The door slams shut and silence plays its role once again. How much longer will we endure this, Stephen? I hug her and tell her not much longer. We never want our name called, but then we do. To stop the insanity and suspense of waiting. Time holds no bounds here. We are puppets in this game. We do not say when it starts or begins. We only go along with it like lambs. We wait. We fall asleep once more, mourning our friend who has left. I pray he is somewhere better, but doubt crushes it until it is no more. My heart is filled with fury. The bottled pain and anger inside wants to break out. This place of agony wishes to bind me for eternity, but I will not stand for that. This little girl needs my help. I need to get her out of here. I may die here, but I will not allow her death. I awake again before she does, and I begin my routine of staring out the window, my only reminder of the life before this. The sky is filled with depressing dark clouds drifting towards the horizon. The birds are not around today, but I don't care. mystery of escapism in my mind. My only option is, it seems, is to sneak behind Lucky when he comes in today. But how? No one has tried it before, but why? The better question I have is to ask that boy who has lived here for a year without his name ever being revealed. I spot him in the corner, staring at his hands, smiling. I slowly make my way over and greet him. "Hello, sir." "Not a sir, just a boy," he replies. "Finally thinking, huh? Ready to save your girlfriend?" He giggles a bit as I just blush with embarrassment. "I'm only joking. Sit down." I sit in front of him and have a staring contest for a minute. He wins. I ask him how he has survived. The answer is simple. I never cared for anyone but me. I never smoked my name. They never could call it. You, however, Stephen, have let your name seep through the cell in the last month because of that girl. You were being nice, I know, but now you are in danger of being next. I contemplate on his response and let it process before I ask why he hasn't escaped. "It is not my place to do so, Stephen," he smiles. "I am only a guide for others to hear. My words are few, but speak more than I do." Silence leans upon my shoulders and compresses my body. His answers puzzle me. I do not understand what he means. "Stephen, when I first arrived here, I tried helping everyone out, but no one listened. No one waited to work together to escape. I lost my best friend, Jack, when only we tried to get out. We had no one to give us guidance then. But now you do. I have failed, and I know I cannot escape. Not without Jack. You must, with her." I look at my wet feet, my raggedy clothes, my calloused hands, and the barred window. I look beneath at her sleeping. "She looks to you as an older brother. Has she revealed her name?" I nod. I tell him she showed me, but she didn't speak it. I did not allow her to. The boy is relieved. "Then I think the time is now. Be ready when Lucky arrives. Be close to the door, but hidden behind children. When he grabs for the next victim, go for it. Find places to hide, and always look before you leap. Trust nothing but you. Never have her out of your sight, either." I rise up and thank him with a firm handshake. I begin to walk over to her, but when he calls out, "Oh, make sure you go right instead of left," I tilt my head confused, but nod with assertion.